Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Quick Updates. Our regular and much more capable host Colin Postma is away this week, but we're going to do our best to put together a good show for you. Speaking of the show, we're going to have an update from Andre on another reckless bill that the Justice Committee is debating. Levi is going to take a break from shipping ARPA merch to speak to the situation here in BC regarding prohibitions on the gathering for public worship. And speaking of ARPA merch, I'm going to get an answer for you from Elyse on when you can expect yours in the mail. Ed is joining us from Northern Alberta, where he attended a pastor's meeting. And lastly, we'll conclude this episode with a few important prayer requests for this week. It's Wednesday, December 2nd, and this is Quick Updates. We are so appreciative of all the work that you have been doing on Bill C-7. This bill, which greatly expands access to euthanasia, is now back in the House of Commons and will be voted on very soon. Please check out this link to find out what you can do. While that is happening, the Justice Committee is working through another reckless bill, and for more on that, we're joined by Andre Schutten from Ottawa.
Thanks so much. So tomorrow morning, I'll have the pleasure and honor of presenting to the House of Commons Justice Committee on Bill C-6. This is the bill that proposes to ban, through the criminal code, conversion therapy, so-called conversion therapy. ARPA Canada is very concerned about the definition of conversion therapy in this bill because it's very broad and vague, and it's left really big question marks for us as to whether or not that's going to impact pastoral ministry. In fact, the way it's written right now, it's my opinion that it will constrain pastoral ministry as it means to reaching out to people with questions about who they are or where they belong or how they should live. The church has answers to those questions, and we need to be free to give those answers in a compassionate and meaningful way. So we'll be making our presentation tomorrow, and we ask you to keep us in prayer, that our submissions will be heard and understood, but also that you can reach out to the Justice Committee as well and make your voice heard too.
Thanks for that, Andre. Again, please visit arpacanada.ca/C6 for more on what you can do. Next up, we have Levi speaking to us about restrictions on worship in BC.
Hey, Mike. So here in BC and across Canada, we are seeing more and more restrictions on worship services. Here in BC, we're actually prohibited to have any worship services at all, aside from baptisms, weddings, and funerals. We at ARPA think that these restrictions are troubling on a number of practical, legal, and biblical fronts. And if you share these concerns with us, we really encourage you to go onto our website, ARPA Canada, and send an easy mail off to our provincial leaders. Whether you live in BC, or Alberta, Manitoba, or Ontario, go online and have that democratic voice telling our representatives that this goes too far, that we need to have the freedom to worship in a way that's different from going to Walmart or going to Costco or going to get your hair cut. So, and then also remember to keep our government officials and our church leaders in prayer as they navigate through these troubling times. Back to you, Mike.
Yes, indeed. Trying times for people of faith in BC and across the country. So thanks for that update, Levi. As you can see behind me, ARPA staff and volunteers are busy assembling and packaging orders of ARPA merchandise. Now, it's not quite Amazon, but we're working pretty efficiently here. And Elyse, who is the head organizer of the ARPA shipping department, joins me now to share why this merch is so exciting and update us on when you can expect it to be delivered.
Thanks, Mike. We are so excited about the ARPA merch that is getting shipped out across Canada this week. And we couldn't have done it without the many volunteers that are helping us pack up over 600 orders this week. That equals 1,800 articles of clothing with a message that says, God keep our land glorious and free. So thank you so much for your support and for helping us get this message out to so many Canadians across this country, especially during these times. Thank you.
Thanks, Elyse. Finally, Ed comes in from Northern Alberta. Ed, what are you up to?
Well, hello everyone. Another beautiful, typical sunny Alberta day. So privileged to be here in St. Albert, Alberta. Just came out of a ministerial meeting with a number of Reformed pastors from the central Alberta and Edmonton area here. And it was so encouraging to be encouraged by our pastors. Very good, fruitful discussion on how ARPA Canada can be a blessing to the churches. And of course, how our church leaders and pastors can also be a blessing to us. So it was really cool to engage with them and speak with them. Obviously about the COVID crisis going on as well. And, you know, we've put out a lot of calls to prayer for government leaders. This is my personal call to prayer for our pastors and for our church leaders who are making very difficult decisions during this time. Please support them. Please be kind and compassionate to one another. As the Bible says, don't repay evil with evil or insult with insult, but seek peace and pursue it so that churches can, by God's grace, once again meet together in worship. And that's what we're all hoping and longing for. So we can be like-minded even though we don't always agree on everything. So please pray for our pastors, pray for our church leaders, and continue to pray for a positive relationship between our leaders and between ARPA Canada as well. So take care and God bless.
Thanks, Ed. The relationship we have with the Reformed Church leaders is something we appreciate and cherish so much. To close this episode, we leave you with these prayer requests. Please pray for the Justice Committee as it deliberates over Bill C-6. Please also pray for all MPs as they get set to vote on Bill C-7. And lastly, please pray for John Sickham as he prepares his oral presentation to the Supreme Court of Canada on the AGA case, an important matter dealing with church authority and governance. That's it for Quick Updates this week. Thanks to you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Well, actually, not me, but Kala.